I've also asked the school board to make a part of every day some kind of anti-violence, anti-gun message. Every day, every school, at every level. One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every...
The globalists are losing, but they're doubling down their attacks. There's one thing they fear, and it's people power. InfoWars has defeated their censorship so far only because of you spreading the links, spreading the articles, subscribing, clicking the notification buttons, and getting the articles and videos out. But they are intensifying their censorship, so now it's more important than ever to ensure we keep the First Amendment alive and well right here in America and free speech worldwide. So from Australia to countries in Africa, to Europe, to Mexico, to right here in the USA, I salute you all for taking action and defending free speech. We will prevail.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Answer the question. Let me answer the question. You can shout me down when I'm finished, but let me answer Emma's question. It is not federal law for states to report convictions to the NICS system. It's not federally mandated. That's the big question, and I wish that this network had also covered this more as other media networks would have covered it. That's a huge... Wait a second.
You guys, if I can't hear her statement, I can't come up with a rebuttal. Please.
So there you go. There's Eric Holder in 1995. Eric Holder's in some hot water right now, by the way. Eric Holder in 1995 saying we need to brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way. Fast forward to yesterday at the town hall, and you have people shouting murderer at Dana Loesch, who's never broken any gun laws. So I guess Eric Holder's brainwashing people into getting to think negatively about guns is working, isn't it? I'm now joined by Jalen Martin. Jalen, thank you for joining us. Am I correct? You attended that town hall last night, right?
Yes, I was at the town hall last night.
And it's my understanding you were actually able to talk to Dana Loesch.
Yes, I just finished an interview with Dana Loesch because last night she was about to walk on stage, and I stopped and I walked down the stairs because I was right behind Jake Tapper. I stopped and walked down the stairs and went up to her and shook her hand. I said, thank you, because they're taking this whole, ban and repeal of the Second Amendment way too far. I shook her hand, and she asked me if I was in the Air Force because my shirt said the Air Force on it. And I told her, no, my brother is. She asked me if I went here to stone me, and I told her yes. So I planned to talk to her right after she was over with this, basically a witch trial. And once she walked off the stage, it was like, I don't even understand. It's like one of those things you see in the movies where the people hurl tomatoes and stuff like that. It's sort of like
she had to have like really strict security detail just to get out of there.
So, once it got to that level, I couldn't make contact with her at all. She looked up at me, and her security rushed her off because the whole situation escalated way too much.
They got crazy. They literally lost their minds, and she had to have serious security just to get out of there. I mean, it's sad that she's just having a forum and a debate, and you'd have to have security just to walk out of the building. But that shows you, the intolerance, honestly, of the anti-gun movement right now. But so the town hall happens last night. Colton Haig, one of the students at your school, was there, and he reported how they were scripting questions. We also had Boots in the building that confirmed that they were.
Yes.
They're saying, oh, we were just rehearsing. Okay, you want to have a battle of words, but what did you witness? How scripted was the thing? How controlled was it? How contrived was it? What are the students saying?
Well, when I was there, like I said, I was sitting right behind Jake Tapper, so I got to see people, sort of reading their question beforehand. But other than that, it just seemed off. The questions were exaggerated. For instance, there was a student who said, me and my friends think that when we go back to school, we're going to get murdered. He's not thinking that. There's no way that he wrote that question. I do not believe that for a second that he wrote that. So, and I think he was asking Senator Bill Nelson, which I did speak to. I guess we'll get to that in a little bit. But the whole thing seemed pretty weird, and I watched Cameron Kasky specifically. He was the one who, was asked a question to Marco Rubio. Just watching him the whole time, you could tell that he was, I don't want to say that he was dramatizing it, but he was definitely exaggerating the whole situation. And just the way he was sitting there, you can watch his face. He'll like make faces and hold it there just to make sure that, a camera got his face a shot.
Well, I mean, we looked into these guys. I mean, honestly, man, I couldn't even believe it, Jalen. Like, they're all actors. I'm not saying they're Christ actors. They're literally in the drama club. They're thespians. They are actors. I mean, they've been trained for it.
Yeah, and that really disgusted me last night. Like, I kept looking over at him, and at the end of the whole thing, like the very last thing, there was a song put together by a few students, and just looking, I turned around and looked at his face. It was just really annoying just to see that he was exaggerating his expressions so much, not to the point where it was, sort of just slightly getting on my nerves. But I pointed it out to people, and they were like, "Yeah, he's
acting. He's literally up there acting."
He was. This was the most coached person I've ever seen on CNN, which is hard to say.
Yeah,
that's hard to say.
No, it's really amazing how they're basically like grooming these kids. And you even had you had the one girl like, well, I might go back to school, but I might have to do an interview, so I really don't know. They're calling me for all these interviews. I mean, what is that about? But I mean, let me ask you this: do you think the panel was selected intentionally just to have people up there that would say the anti-gun questions?
Here's the thing about it, because I think it was the executive producer of the event. He came over and talked to us, because we were in a special section. It was about 40 of us. We were right behind Jake Tapper, and he walked over and told us, hey, just be mindful that you're the most visible people in the crowd, so try not to do anything that'll draw too much attention. Someone asked, how did you get the questions? He said, we put out a request for them. We got 10,000 of them, and we handpicked them. And as soon as he said that, I was like, wow. I don't know if I recorded it, because I had recorded when he had first walked over there, but I don't know if I have that part.
And that was Jake Tapper that told you that?
No, that was not Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper came out later. This was, I believe, the executive producer of CNN.
Okay, kind of the organizer of it all?
Yes. So, yeah, they said they screened the questions, and then they gave them to them. And then they, I guess, just sent out a request for, what students want to, do this or whatever. And, exactly. Just like Colton's, he had to write his own questions. I'm 100% sure they had to do that, because I talked to Delaney Tarr, which is, the girl with the black glasses.
Who's also in the drama club.
I talked to her. Yeah, I talked to her afterwards. And I was like, hey, do you want me to record you, asking your question or anything like that? She was like, no. I was like, what was your question? What was it going to be? She was like, well, I submitted mine, but, they didn't take it. So I was like, yeah, you didn't get to say anything. She was like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure I'll get a lot more press. So.
And, the amazing thing, too, a lot is kind of coming out about Cameron Kasky. Honestly, it's I don't even want to report this stuff, but tweets that he tweeted out in the past about violence, about conservatives, I don't even want to repeat it. Apparently, he's hanging out with Nellie Orr. I don't know if you know who Nellie Orr is, but she's involved in the whole Russian dossier, fake, that whole nonsense. We got 30 seconds left, Jalen. What do you want to depart the audience with here today?
Yeah, so I walked over to Senator Bill Nelson during one of the breaks and asked him, since they've been beating up on the NRA, I asked him, do you plan on stop taking, money from NRA, from pharmaceutical industries? And he, yeah, exactly right there. And he said, well, I don't think I have. But, of course he has.
Have you? Wow. Good stuff. Jalen Martin, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be in touch with you. Thank you.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Support good oral health with our one-of-a-kind Super Blue fluoride-free products. InfoWars Life brings you a revolutionary toothpaste blend with iodine and nano silver designed to deliver a powerful clean. Enjoy a minty fresh flavor made with peppermint oil or try our bubblegum flavor. Pair this groundbreaking toothpaste with the Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and supercharge your oral health. Our amazing mouthwash features natural oils and ancient ingredients used since Aboriginal and biblical times. Instead of containing fluoride, our Super Blue line is loaded with the good halogen iodine and an array of other beneficial compounds that have been hand-selected for their oral health benefits. Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and toothpaste are the first and only to contain all of these natural ingredients: xylitol, nano silver, and iodine. Notice the difference with our Super Blue fluoride-free products. Refresh your breath and invigorate your oral health routine at InfoWarsStore.com. That's InfoWarsStore.com.